Yo, what is going on, guys? So we have a video here today from Insolent Audits on the reasons smart men avoid marrying or dating single mothers. So guys, as you know, a lot of these single mothers, they are incredibly entitled. They feel as though they deserve a man to marry them. You know, a man is supposed to have a relationship with her. He's supposed to invest his time and his resources for kids that are not his own. These women are oftentimes incredibly narcissistic, and that is the reason why they are single. But of course, everything is men's fault. So without further ado, let's just jump in. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
If a man is with you and lives with you, knowing you have kids, knowing you had kids before you got together, and he doesn't treat those kids as his own, and he doesn't contribute to your household as if those kids were his own, that's not the one. You need to exit left ASAP. I'm not sure who else needs to hear this, but a man that goes to a woman who already has kids is going to step up to the plate and take care of those kids as if those kids are his. So yes, you should expect him to. If he committed to you, he committed to them kids. This is a packaged deal that we have right now. This is not like, oh, well, you get me and like, well, here's also my kid. Like, no. You all come together, and if he doesn't understand that and if he doesn't treat you accordingly, exit left.
Queen, if you think this attitude and demands for a single mother to make will benefit single mothers, you are being delusional. Now, this is going to be hard to hear for the self-glorified single mothers like this one, but the reality is the bulk of high-value men are not going to mess with this single mama drama she created. I mean, I'm hearing her case and it works out awesome to tell men to avoid this headache. Better than I could put it anyway. Isn't it amazing how the fact that there is a reason a woman is a single mother is evident to most men? I mean, if the baby daddy isn't around, that right there is red flag number one to any guy worth his salt. In fact, I would venture to say most of my male viewers who have dated single mothers may argue, how exactly is a man supposed to treat her kids as his own when as soon as he tries to apply some type of discipline, she would just tell him not to talk to her kids that way. Yeah, this woman is advising women to do the usual single mom trope of starting any relationship with the saying, you will never come first because I have kids, but you need to treat my baby daddy's kids as your own. Moving on.
Guys, another thing I want you to notice before we move on to the next clip is that women like this are so delusional, okay, that they think that a man has to take care of a kid that is not his own, that it's somehow stepping up, right? It's something that men are required to do. This is what happens, right, when these women become single mothers and they realize that men don't want to commit to them anymore. Okay, we've got to resort to the shaming language. Oh, men need to step up. Men, if you don't do this, you're not a real man. And this is how a lot of these women try to get relationships out of men. This is how they try to get marriage out of men. This is how they try to get resources out of men by saying, you know what, if you don't do this for me, then you're not stepping up, right? And you're the problem here. Despite the fact that this woman couldn't keep a man to save her life. And the reason why I know that, guys, is because she's clearly clinically insane. Right? People who make these videos yelling at TikTok are just to be avoided at all costs. Let's jump into the next clip here.
Moving on.
You tell a man, oh, I need you to pay for the babysitter so I can come out with you. And he's like, oh, no, that's too much. That's where I draw a line. That's because you're not worth that to him. If the woman of his dreams was standing in front of him saying, you need to cover the babysitter, it's $15 an hour, he's going to be like, okay, plus the tip. I mean, you want to only be the man's dream girl when you even give him a shot at dating you. So setting this standard in the beginning is so important. Never pay for the babysitter if you're seeing a man. And in the words of my friend on here, Michelle, I'm gonna tag her in the comments because if you're not following her, you absolutely should. They would absolutely be willing to pay for the babysitter to go on a date with their dream girl.
She said never pay for the babysitter, aka confirmed from day one, you got yourself a thirsty beta imp chump that is willing to pay for the consequences of your decisions to be a single mother before you even give him an idea this is gonna work out. Got it. I'm going to go on record and say, if you as a man actually agree to pay for a single mother's babysitter before you even met her or have gone out with her, you deserve Chad/Tyrone sloppy seconds and to raise their kids on your dime. I have zero sympathy for a man who can't respect himself to the point where he can't set up a simple boundary. Ladies, let me put it this way. If she doesn't know him, that means he, as a man, has zero right or any high ground to demand her to come over to his home and fix his problem. In that same light, ladies, she has zero right or any high ground to expect a man to pay for her issues. But then again, if queens like her demand men to pay for after-hours in-house Rugrat daycare, it's because there are enough suckers out there willing to do it.
The thirst always wins.
Moving on.
I find it absolutely hilarious. I don't know if you guys caught this while we were listening to this woman talk, but she said here, you know, if I were his dream girl, then he would pay for the babysitter. Madam, you are nobody's dream girl. And the reason why I say this is because you're a single mother. No guy out there who has, you know, a regular functioning brain is going to sit there and say, wow, you know what? My dream girl is a girl who has kids to another guy. You lose that instantly. You lose the status of being something, you know, of being some dude's the prize, as it were, or however you want to word it. You're no longer really desirable to men, okay, or at least the intelligent ones. I don't care how good you think you look, okay. None of this matters, because what happens is, as soon as you have kids to another guy, that's your problem. The kids are not mine. They're not another man's. They're your responsibility. And notice, excuse me, guys, how all of this strong and independent talk, it goes out of the window as soon as there's a bill. Even if it's for her own kids. You cannot honestly tell me that this woman cares for her own kids, but she's trying to get dudes to take her out on dates and pay for her kids. Like, at a certain point, you're just, you know, absolutely silly. I can't say the words I want to say here because I'll get just banned on YouTube very quickly, but that is incredibly silly. Let's continue into this next woman here.
This comment on someone else's TikTok where she's talking about the mental load in the household. We need to stop getting in relationships with guys who haven't shown you that they actually clean up after themselves. Never get in a relationship with somebody who hasn't yet learned how to wash dishes, wash their own clothes, clean their own bathroom, clean their own house. If you don't see them do this before you start a relationship, don't start a relationship. This is why we use a no kissing for 3 months dating rule. Because when you kiss and then start a relationship with somebody and then find out who they are, you take on too much. Because you develop emotions while you're getting to know who they are. You develop emotions while you're in a honeymoon stage. Meaning you look at them going, what can I do for you? How can I take care of you?
No kissing for 3 months dating rule. Okay, that is one way of going about it. Now, I do agree on her point of not dating anyone who is overly just too messy. That is, if they are more slobbish rather than too busy to do all the housework. There is a difference between not wanting to clean up versus not having enough time to clean up every mess. About her awesome 3-month rule, though, I have to ask, do the women who require the no kiss rule adhere to any rules the men can impose on them, such as, oh, I don't know, you have to split the bill for 3 months, or he will be kissing other women for 3 months until she starts doing it, or for 3 months you will get limited time from him until he becomes something more serious. I mean, throwing down some restrictions like that sounds like an awesome strategy until it backfires. Think of it this way, ladies. You go out on a date to a restaurant with a guy, and halfway through dinner, you tell him you can't kiss him for 3 months. He says, fair enough, and tells the waiter he wants separate checks for the both of you. And he explains to you he can't give you girlfriend benefits for 3 months.
Yeah, boy.
So instead of picking somebody who's proven to you that he's capable of taking care of himself, in other words, he's adulting in life, you let somebody kiss you, develop emotions for them, take care of them, and then down the road, complain. How about we define what it is that we're looking for in a partner first? Conscientiousness, work ethic, responsibility, that needs to be on your list. If he doesn't show you these attributes before kissing, don't kiss him. That's how you're going to avoid one of these. Ladies, no more selfish short-term thinkers. No more babies that are adults. No more carrying everything on your shoulders. Please grab this book that I wrote and use the no kissing for 3 months dating rule. You deserve better.
You deserve.
Okay, so before we jump into the commentary here, guys, this is a woman. This is absolutely hilarious to me. This is a 50-plus-year-old woman who I would assume is a single mother. I don't know why, okay, for the life of me, we have 50-plus-year-old women getting on TikTok trying to give relationship advice to other women. I don't care. Like, here's the thing. She can say some things that are correct, sure, but does she listen to her own rules? So, for example, if you want to sit here and say, well, I don't do short-term hookups, I don't kiss dudes in the first 3 months. Okay, what about when you were 25? Did that rule apply then? No? Okay, I don't want to hear it. I simply do not want to hear it, because what happens is these women, they have their fun with all of the bad boys, and then they get to 50 years of age, or they become single mothers, and now it's all about looking for a good guy who's going to be a nice provider, who's going to, you know, clean the house and make you dinner and go out there and earn money as well and do everything for you. That's when all of this becomes important. It's absolutely disgusting to me, guys. It really is. Like, these 50-plus-year-old dating coaches who are oftentimes single mothers or they're divorced. No, absolutely not. That is ridiculous. And she even wrote a book, guys. Like, that is astounding.
Deserve better.
You deserve better because of reasons. Okay, she advises women to define in a partner conscientiousness, work ethic, responsibility to be on a woman's list as demands from a man. Hey, fair enough. I can't knock any of that. Now, my question to this Canadian dating coach of the flocks of single moms out there. What are these single moms, or any single ladies really, bringing to the table that is so valuable it makes them believe they can make such demands?
Squeeze me? Oh, no, you dick.
I mean, considering the high probability of her taco shell has been cracked wide open, and there is definitely some extra baggage coming along with her, what exactly does she have that tips the scales in her favor? Ladies, don't get me wrong, as I am clear that a good percentage of men out there don't have a huge abundance to offer either. But those men don't have a list the size of a tax law like most of you do. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I just have a hunch that the type of men you're going to get with those demands probably lives in his mom's basement. Moving on.
When you're dating as a single mom and a man asks, oh, what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing today? When you show that you're putting your children as a priority, like, oh, I'm taking my daughter to the museum. We've been learning about, art. I don't know. We've been learning about animals. We're going to the zoo this weekend. Like, that kind of stuff is super attractive, and a man is going to look at that and be like, wow, she really cares about her kids. Like, wow, I might, think about actually creating a family with this woman. I might want to have kids with her too, because
I have to stop the clip right here because I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit. No man finds this attractive. No dude really cares about your children. Okay, it's, fantastic. You have your kids, you love your kids, excellent stuff. One might argue you don't really love them if you haven't secured a father figure to be in the picture, but hey, that's a different discussion. But no dude hears that and goes, wow, that's attractive. No, they're your kids. They're your responsibility. Okay, no dude wants to also go out there and have more kids with a woman who has kids that are not his own. Now, some guys will do this, okay? There's always going to be the outliers who have absolutely no standards, right? But for intelligent men, for dudes who have a brain and they think about these things, they don't want to have kids with you. You already have kids. They're your responsibility. No dude hears you saying that you're going to the museum with them to learn about animals and goes, wow, that's super attractive. These women have no idea what is attractive to men. They really don't. Not once on these videos, guys, have I really heard a woman talk about being pleasant to be around, smiling, being someone who's peaceful, right? None of these words enter into their vocabulary. It's all, I'm a boss babe, here's how much money I have to show you how independent I am. None of these attributes are very attractive to men at all.
She's just such a good mother to her own children. So yes, ladies, it's just really important for you to be prioritizing your children. If you're married, well, any woman that has children or any woman that is going to be a mother, you know, I think that this information is just super helpful. But like I said, if you are a single mom and you're looking to date, this is going to boost your ranking like tremendously, like 100 points.
Number one, single mothers shouldn't be dating. They should be either getting with the father of their kids or not dating at all. Nobody wants to date a single mother. It's also very bad for your children and very risky to be introducing them to random men. That's number one. Number two, it doesn't actually increase your points or make you more attractive. This woman is delusional.
Because you're such a good mom. Trust me.
Being such a good could be the majority of the ones in your DMs. Okay, how about I shed more light on this by asking a few questions? If what this lady is saying were true, then wouldn't women who put pics of their kids in their dating profiles be getting wifed up left and right? Also, wouldn't men be putting in their profiles that they are looking for a single mother to start a family with?
How about no?
Once again, I find myself advising expectation management. I mean, if the Rugrat inclusion is so awesome on the dating scene, why aren't women looking for those awesome good single dads that are obviously the best person to have a child with? Paraphrasing her, you can see having a family with him because he is such a good father to his own children. Moving on.
Single moms, here's the one question you ask a guy you're dating or interested in to see if he's going to be the good guy, the boring guy that's going to support you emotionally. Really great comment. I agree, they're hard to find. You're just not asking the right questions. There's plenty of these men out there. When you're out with a guy, ask him about his mom. Hey, what's your mom like? See how he responds. Does he respond like, wow, my mother is this incredible woman and has all these beautiful, respectful things to say? Or does he have a strained relationship with his mom? A man that has learned how to respect a woman learns it from his mother. And you know how much he will respect you based on how much he respects his mom.
Hold up a second here. I can't agree with this statement. She is making of a man will respect you based on how much he respects his mother. First of all, a man looks for a woman he's attracted to. That doesn't line up well with someone like his mother. Second of all, her phrasing is a straight contradiction of how the bulk of women don't want a man to treat them like if they were his new mommy. Third of all, this gives the impression that men who were brought up by mothers who were abusive or mentally ill or negligent or anything not healthy automatically means he is terrible relationship material. Sheesh, talk about victim blaming. And finally, a man will talk about his parents when he is ready. Asking a question like that can be harmful if you have no idea what is going on in that part of his family. He will open up when he wants to, or more importantly, if there was trauma there, when he can.
We decide our fates, not you.
For example, my Sean. He loved his mother so much. I paid attention and I noticed even though she was very elderly and she lived in an assisted living center in Florida and we live in California, and he would call her once a week and would get her grocery order. And he would order her groceries for her to have them delivered to her because she didn't like the food at the assisted living center. He even ordered her lip gloss. When I heard him on the phone asking his mom when he was on Instacart with her about what color lip gloss she wanted, and he was patient as possible, I knew that I had found a good man. Check how he treats his mom. Follow me for more single mom tips, and I'd love to connect with you. We talk about all this stuff in the Single Moms Club every week. I'd love to meet you. Sign up. Links in the bio.
No, you found a good son who takes care of his mother and pays attention to her needs. I applaud the guy for being that cool with his mom. Obviously, they have a great bond between them. But the way she is talking about it is really sounding like she wants the conditions of her relationship with him to piggyback off his connection with his mom. Listen, ladies, I understand you want to find an identifier to gauge if the guy is a quality dude. I understand that clearly. But how many videos have women put out on the internet complaining about men with mommy issues and how those men are looking for a new mommy in their spouse?
165!
Ladies, make it make sense, please. You can't condemn the behavior one day and then make it sound like the golden light the next day. But hey, you do you, princess. But what happens when his mother doesn't approve of you?
Game over, man. It's game over.
Moving on.
I find it really weird, guys. I would almost consider a lot of these videos, actually, before we move into the next one. Women like this, I actually find to be quite predatory. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because these women, they go out there, they make their stupid life decisions, they have kids and the father's no longer in the picture, right? They either kick him out or they choose a bad boy. They can't keep around a man. They go out, they have kids with some random dude. And then what they do is they look for that boring guy. She even called it a boring guy. I'm looking for a boring man. Okay. And what she wants to do is she wants to be treated very well. She wants his resources. She wants his time. Okay. She wants to be looked after, you know, financially. This woman's talking about, you know, the dude ordering groceries and stuff for his mother and crap like this because she wants to be provided for in that same way, right? So what happens is we go out here, we have kids to random men, and then we look for provisioning and protecting from dudes, right? Who are not the original father of the child. And they filter for these guys who are going to provide for them. And if you don't do that, you're not a good man, right? You don't love your mother. You're not a good man. You need to step up to the plate. It's disgusting, and it's absolutely predatory. I don't know why. And also, this woman has a community of single mothers. Isn't that crazy, guys? This woman is a dating coach who gets communities of these women to try and filter out and get dudes who will provide to them after they have screwed up their life. That is something else, right? Because again, guys, these are the women that make these decisions. Now, I feel sorry for these women if they're widows, but other than that, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be having kids to men when you can't ensure that the men will stay around, or you shouldn't be kicking them out when you have kids. Now let's jump into this next woman here, and I think I actually covered this woman recently. She was shocking. Let's take a listen.
The question for the besties is, I mean, I know how I feel. Do you feel like celebrating anniversaries and birthdays and stuff like that is just meeting the bare minimum, or is that kind of going above and beyond? Because I just had a birthday and an anniversary, and my boyfriend celebrated them beautifully. Like, I was literally in tears. He took me to see Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, who I had just told him, gosh, I love them. I look up to them so much. I think they're amazing, like, writers. Like, they're so much more than these funny girls on screen. They are intelligent women who write beautifully and whatever. And I was like, God, I'd love to go. Tickets were so expensive. I'm a single mom to 4 kids, so, you know, it wasn't even an option for me in my head. He bought us tickets. And so literally for the first, like, I could cry thinking about it. It was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm, like, even in the room with them. It was amazing. But it was also our anniversary. It's also something he's into, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's appropriate. We've been in this relationship for this long. I put tons of money into my appearance, and I know that's part of the reason why he likes dating me. So, okay.
If you are in disbelief of what you just heard, you can set the video back about a minute and hear it again. A single mother of 4 kids, of how many baby daddies is unknown, is complaining because her current boyfriend spent a lot of money on celebrating a special occasion, and she thinks it's the bare minimum. I am starting to wonder if Western women are actually serious about these thoughts and feels they are having, or if it is some biological/psychological need to come up with some sideline trolling and try to make it stick so they can somehow be perceived as some kind of suffering victim. I hate to point out the obvious, but she is fortunate to have a guy willing to drop a stack of his own money to take her somewhere special. Let's not ignore the fact she said she has poured tons of money into her own looks. Toots, that's not for him. That's called self-improvement, which I applaud, but don't make it sound like it's a gift for your boyfriend. Another guy can easily enjoy that if you decide to step out on your man. Your window dressing is for your windows, not his.
Liar! I also did sweet things for him too. I didn't do something monetarily that could match, but we monetarily are different. So I feel like, yeah, we both celebrated our anniversary. For my birthday, he did something like pretty equivalent to what I did for him. Okay. And then when I was explaining to him some of the things that are bothering me, he's like, well, but he was like, I bring you food when I'm coming over. Like, if I'm coming over and I'm going to stop at Wendy's, I ask if you want anything. Okay. And then he says, just so much that I'm like, that's sounding like bare minimum. Like, if you want this relationship to progress any further, I don't know what the point of that was, but thank you for listening.
Oh boy, she is threatening her boyfriend with a good time. A single mother of 4 is going to tell a man to hit the road if he doesn't spend more money on her. Ladies, this is an example of roast beef energy. It's more of the usual self-serving word salad of, I'm a queen, I deserve better, he only does the bare minimum for me, and I am a true catch.
You know what? Wow.
If this queen went as far to make a video complaining about the guy, she has already set up the relationship to fail. Sister, you are fortunate to have a guy who has done this much for you. The way she talks about her boyfriend, I don't think any of her kids are his. I.e., you are the single mother who needs help, as the other baby daddies are not around. Let me put it differently. Your selection of men for a relationship is not from an infinite pool. Chad/Tyrone's will still throw it down for you, but they will not put a ring on it. Be thankful you got a good man that is willing to share his resources with you. Either that or put up a dating profile saying you are a single mom of 4 puppies and demand more than the bare minimum.
Okay, guys, so it's very obvious when you see videos like this why this woman is a single mother of 4. It is because she is an absolute pain in the backside. She is insane and she is narcissistic. Okay, she is sitting here as a single mother of 4 and she feels as though this guy is not doing enough for her. He brings her food, he earns more money than her, and he spends it on her. Okay, this woman doesn't spend as much money on him, but don't worry, she spends it on her looks, which again, I can't say anything about because I'll get banned from YouTube. So this woman is just so out of touch with reality. It is absolutely disgusting. But yet she still sits here and she demands things from men. This is the absolute state of some of these girls. These are not wife material. These are not girlfriend material. These women are not even for fun material if you're a guy who goes out there and, you know, just dates casually. This woman comes under none of those categories. She is a liability. She is dangerous to men. And she is absolutely nuts. Guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. I'm interested to see what you guys have to say on some of the individuals we have covered in today's episode. And as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.